So, well, last lesson we were talking about recalling or the transformation in Pure 1, Chapter 4. And here we go. Chapter 2.6, Pure 2 about combining transformation. Quick recall on all the transformations that you've learned in Pure 1. Now, I'm going to write them all out, see if you can fill in the gaps for me, finish a sentence for me. So there are sort of 6 of them, I guess, or 3, you can, a few of them. First one is f of, actually, let me make the screen bigger. Right, so first one is f of x plus or minus a. The second one is f of xa. And then you also have a f of x. And then you have f of minus x and minus f of x. See if you remember, what does that mean? Okay, so oh, you also have, actually I forgot one more, f of x plus or minus a. Right, so 6 of them. So pause the video, write it down. So what does f of x plus minus a mean? When you're ready for the answer, you can press play. Now the first one, x plus or minus a, means you're moving horizontally. If a is positive, if a is positive, then you're moving to left. If a is negative, you move to right. Right, next one. If the a is outside, then you're moving vertically. Positive a is up, negative a moving down. So f of xa, it means it's a stretch in x direction, stretching x. If the a is inside bracket, actually f of ax will be a better way of writing it. I don't know why I write xa, ax. Stretching x by 1 over a. So scale factor is 1 over a. Inside the bracket is rebellious. For example, if the a is inside bracket, you do the opposite. Plus a means move to left. Negative a means move to right. Ax, a times x, rebellious, times 1 over a. If the a is outside, then it's a stretch in y by a, just a. F of minus x, that's the one shouldn't get mixed up with. Now, if it's inside bracket, you're affecting the x coordinates. Now, when you do reflection that affects the x coordinates, that means you're reflecting in the y-axis. So it's a reflection in y-axis. If the negative outside bracket, that means it's affecting the y coordinates. Now, the only way you can affect the y coordinates is you do reflection in the x-axis. Reflection in x-axis. That's how I remember it. Some people also remember inside bracket, because inside bracket is always deal with x. You can remember x equals 0 and this y equals 0. Okay. Right. Next, what happens if there are more than one transformation? So what is the order then? Right. So here's the order. I will have to make it really big so I get plenty of space to write on. So the order transformation. Oops. Okay, so the order transformation, when you write on it, the reason I make it so big is so I get the full screen to write something on. Right. So you got here, so you got a shift, you got a stretch, you got a reflection. These are horizontal. Okay, so these are the horizontal ones. And then think of it like a reflection line in here. Then you have a reflection. And then stretch. And then a shift. That these are the vertical ones. So the order goes in that direction. This is the order. The order goes from top to bottom. So that's the order. So for example, if let's say we have a really, very, very interesting equations, let's say we have -3 2x plus 5 minus 6. Actually, there'll be negative 2x as well. So in here, now in this equation, in this function, there are actually 6 transformations. In the exam, most of them you'll get 2. Okay, minimum you should get 1, but most of them you get 2. Rarely you get 3. So if you got an equation like this, which one do you start working on? Well, according to this one, you have to go from shift first. That means if the line was the original line, by the way, the original line is y equals x. So it becomes into this one. So the first one you should do is the +5 because that's a shift. Then the stretch, which is here horizontally. Then the reflection. So that's the number 3, the minus in here. The fourth one would be reflection outside, stretch outside, stretch is that one, and then finally shift downwards. Okay, so that's the that is the order. All right. Right. So yeah. Moving on. Let's make it smaller. Example. The diagram shows a sketch of the graph of y equals f of x. The curve passes through the origin O at 0.2 minus 1 and at 0.64. Sketch a graph of 2 of f of x minus 1. Now, if you remember the order, this is a stretch, that is a shift. So stretch comes before shift vertically. So we have to do 2 first and then a minus 1. So 2 f of x means we are sort of stretch in y by 2, and then the minus 1 means we're moving down by 1. So in that case, your answer would be, now stretch y by 2 means all the y coordinates you have to multiply by 2. The minus 1 becomes minus 2, the 4 becomes the 8. And then you have to move down by 1 as well. So therefore, the final answer would look like, so 0 minus 1, 2 minus 3, 6, 7. So these points, that's 0 minus 1, that point is 2 minus 3, and that point is 6, 7, because 4 times 2, 8, minus 1 is 7. Okay, part B. Y f of x, so y equals f of x plus 2 plus 2. So this one means a bracket. Think of like a bit mask. Everything inside bracket has priority. So inside bracket plus 2 means move left by 2, and then we move up by 2. So the final answer will be part B. So this is minus 2, 2. That point is 0, 1. That point is 4, 6. Yep. Okay, that's it. Part C, a quarter of f of 2x. So inside bracket goes first. 2x means a stretch in y by a half, and then stretch in y by a quarter. Stretching, sorry, hang on. Let's start again. So that 2x means stretch in x by half. That stretch in y by a quarter. So everything x coordinates that you see, you have to multiply by half. Any y coordinates that you see, you have to multiply by a quarter. So if you do the quick maths in here, 2 and you multiply by 1, that's, so that point A is 1 minus a quarter. So that the equation will look like this. Now it's a lot flatter because you are multiplying x and y by half or by a quarter. That means you're sort of stretching. Yeah. So you're sort of pushing the graph together. Right, in x, that's 3, 1. So that point is 3, 1. That point will be 1 and then minus 0.25. That point 0, 0 remains unchanged. Yeah, 3 points, A, B, yeah, OA and B. Yep. Part D. Negative f x minus 1. Inside bracket goes first. Minus 1 means move to right by 1, and then it's a reflection in x-axis. So what does it look like? So move to right by 1 and then reflecting x-axis. You can try to do it yourself first and then check your answer with me. So that's the answer. So that will be 3, 1. That point will be 1, 0. And that point will be 7 minus 4. Okay. Now, don't be afraid to do multiple steps. Do step by step. Use a pencil, make a few drafts, and then do the final answer. It's quite hard to actually see from the beginning. I've got my answer next to me. That's why I can do them all quite quickly. In the exam, you'll be probably given 2 to 3 minutes for each question, so do not rush. Right. Next one. Example: f of x equals ln x. Sketch a graph of y equals 2 f of x minus 3. You are required to record the graph of ln x, which is like this. So 2 f of x minus 3. So 2 goes first. 2 means multiply y by 2. So stretching y by 2 and then move down by 3. So 1 doesn't change anything. Move down by 3. It means that point is 1 minus 3. Yeah. That point is 1 minus 3. From where it says 1, 0 becomes 1 minus 3. Part B. Y equals modulus of f of minus x. The modulus will come last. So minus x means it's a reflection in y-axis. So if we reflect in y-axis first, that would be that one. Right, so this is f of minus x. Modulus, do you remember what does the modulus on the outside do? It helps you reflect anything below the x-axis, above the x-axis. So final answer, minus 1. And that's the graph. Okay, and that's the graph, that's the final answer. Show on diagram the point which meets the x-axis, or in this case, state the equation of asymptote. The asymptote is the asymptote. Asymptote means the invisible line that the graph will never touch. So the line never touch the y-axis. So the asymptote will be x equals 0, or you can say y-axis. Right, practice. You got a few practice questions. Yeah, so you've got a few practice questions. You can use the textbook to help you with your answers, exercise 2F, question 4 and 5. So I'm not going to go through the answer with you in here. You can use the textbook answer to help you work it out. All right.